Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon for the people that are logging in during the PM. Thank you very much and welcome to BLS Global webinar series. And today we will discuss much about the anticipated program of Montenegro citizenship. As you know, with BLS, we've carried out many roadshows internationally and hosted many events and currently doing a lot of virtual webinars and virtual conferences. And you've heard from a number of speakers discuss about the Montenegro program. However, we are delighted to have the direct source, a government approved development that will be giving you the latest updates and insight in regards to the Montenegro citizen. This is very critical for all the participants and the viewers. They are government approved. This morning, you will hear from Brennon Nicholas, the Sales and Marketing Director of Porto Montenegro. Brennon brings over 20 years of expertise in the international real estate to the Porto Montenegro project. His background is in senior management across both real estate agencies, development companies, and has taken his career across the globe from Europe to the GCC and beyond. And of course, now he's currently in Montenegro. And we have Katie Smirnina, the sales manager of Porto Montenegro. Katie is the sales manager, has extensive experience in luxury real estate and birth sales. Throughout her time in the luxury sector, Katie has owned a diverse international client and introducers network. She's also fluent in speaking Russian, English, Montenegrin and Slovenian, and I'm sure she will start learning various other different languages as the sales increase globally for the Montenegrin citizenship. So I know you're not here to hear from me or from BLS explain the Montenegro program. However, if I can ask Brennon or Katie to take over and obviously show us your wonderful presentation, the anticipation that we've all had in regards to the Montenegro program. So without further ado, please, Brennon, Katie, the floor is yours.
Hi, Sam. Thank you very much for the introduction. So as you have mentioned, Brennan and I are here to do a presentation on Montenegrin Citizen by Investment Program, as well as our latest qualified project, the Boka Place. So if it's okay with you, I'm just going to run through the presentation, and afterwards, Brennan and I will be available for any Q&A that the participants might have. So thank you once again very much for joining us today. Brennan and I are here to talk a little bit more about Montenegro. Now, for those of you who are wondering whether this is Photoshopped image, it is not. This is Montenegrin beauty at its best, and this is the UNESCO Bay of Kotor. Now, a couple of facts regarding Montenegro for the participants that have not heard about us before nor had the chance or opportunity to visit Montenegro. Montenegro is situated in Southwest Europe, Central Southwest Europe. It is quite a small country, so the population is only 640,000. People. The capital is called Podgorica, and the official currency that we have in Montenegro is euro. Now, in terms of the benefits of the Montenegrin citizenship, currently Montenegrin citizens have no restrictions on travel for over 123 countries. Now, why would you potentially be interested in choosing Montenegro? Majority of the people who travel and invest in real estate, they really do know that Montenegro is deemed as one of the last undiscovered jewels of Europe, and it is probably one of the fastest growing economies in the Balkan Peninsula. And in the last decades, Montenegro have become definitely a destination for a lot of international investors to invest into real estate, to invest into a holiday destination, and as of recently, an opportunity to obtain Montenegrin citizenship and the benefits that come with it. Now, in terms of how to reach Montenegro, currently in front of you, I have a flight map that shows that Montenegro has 3 international airports and is extremely well connected to major European capitals. as well as such international hubs as Istanbul and Dubai. So for any long-haul flights, Istanbul and Dubai serve as a great overlay location to reach Montenegro. We have 3 airports here at the moment. The closest one is called Tivat. That's nearly a 5-minute drive away from Porto Montenegro project. On top of that, we've got the international airport of Podgorica, situated in the capital. And we are situated quite close on the border with Dubrovnik, that is Croatia. There's only a 1-hour drive to the major international airport of Dubrovnik from Porto Montenegro. Now, just to quickly brief you on the benefits of the Montenegrin Citizenship by Investment program. So the approval process should not take longer than 6 months on the average. There are no language requirements for the applicants to speak Montenegrin, albeit it is a beautiful language, but it is a quite complex one. As of 2015, Montenegro is officially a NATO member, and in 2025, we are hopefully due to join European Union as its latest member. With the Montenegrin passport, the applicants will have the unique opportunity to travel visa-free to over 123 countries. And of course, the opportunity to receive citizenship by investment is linked to real estate. Citizenship by investment or passport is linked to the real estate investment opportunity within Porto Montenegro complex. So in order to qualify for the program, you should hold a valid passport of the country of your residency. You should be able to submit all the documentation required by the qualified agents, processing agents. At this moment in time, there are 3 processing agents in place assigned by the Montenegrin government. To name a few, Henley Partners, Art and Capital, as well as Apex. And of course, the main condition is that the applicant does not hold any former criminal record. In terms of what is expected for the investment to obtain the citizenship, firstly, it's a 100K donation into a government development fund. Other than that, the 450,000 euro investment into qualified real estate project, such as our project Boka Place, which we will present in a few minutes. And aside from that, there are processing fees. So the fee for a main applicant is around 50,000 euros. And for any other family member, it's around 10,000 euros. If the applicant has quite a large family, so for every 5th and 6th member, so on, the application fee will increase to 50,000 euros. On top of that, there are due diligence fees that need to be paid and the agent processing fees. Now, in the unfortunate case that the application gets declined, the government fund donation and the investment into real estate are fully refunded, whereas the processing fees and due diligence fees are non-refundable. So here we've got a very quick, short timeline that depicts basically the steps you need to undertake to apply for the Montenegrin Citizenship Program. As you can see, within the first 2 months, the processing agents will be handling the collection of the necessary documents from you. And then from 2nd month onwards, the government officials will be basically analyzing the documents, reviewing them, and by hopefully the 6th month, you will be given a firm decision whether your application has been accepted or denied. In the case of the former, then the applicant will be invited to travel to Montenegro to basically do the biometrics and apply and receive their new passport. So just in a few words about the Porto Montenegro project, for those of you who haven't heard of us before, Porto Montenegro is a luxury super yacht marina and real estate village that's situated in the UNESCO protected Bay of Kotor. We've been on the market now for over 13 years and are deemed as one of the most successful developers per se in the Balkan Peninsula. Porto Montenegro is an all year round community. We have a super yacht marina, extensive ready-built real estate village, retail spaces, stunning yacht club facility, all year round event schedule, and so on and so forth. So as of recently, we have been applied with the Montenegrin government to launch our new project that will qualify for the passport program. So this is the current master plan of the Porto Montenegro village. And if you see on the upper right corner, number 12, this is the land plot that has been designated for the construction of our unique complex, Boka Place. We are just about to start with the actual construction process. And hopefully by the second to third quarter of 2023, the construction of the Boka Place will be completed. Now, whatever you see in the village other than Boka Place on the map is already built and constructed. So we have over 400 residences. Over 90% of those have been sold and handed over to existing homeowners. We have a super yacht marina with 450 berths, a large retail village, stunning yacht club facilities, sports facilities. We even have an on-site English school, an iceberg school, which is a boarding school. So Porto Montenegro is a full all year round community. We have quite a few of our existing clients, homeowners who live here all year round, and this is kind of an increasing trend as a lot of people, especially in the recent months, are trying to relocate to Montenegro. Now just a few words regarding the Boka Place development, which I've just shown you on the map. So Boka Place is the new project that will hopefully come to light in 2023, and it will bring together a unique urban community. And it's a new opportunity for real estate investors to invest into high quality real estate with the added benefit of a citizenship by investment. At the heart of the Boka Place community, we will have a large retail center, a lot of food and beverage outlets, and an amazing brand new 5-star hotel that was designed and created by a world-renowned Kerzner Hotel Group that also lead the one and only hotel brand. Now, this is just an aerial view for you to see the location of the Boka Place project in relation to other already ready-built facilities within the village. So it is situated within quite a close proximity to the waterfront and only a short distance from the existing infrastructure that we have in place. And just to stress once over, the Boka Place is situated within the territory of the Porto Montenegro project. The project itself is solely owned by one investor, and namely the Investment Corporation of Dubai. So we are their marina experts and are currently the only super yacht marina that they own in their portfolio. So just a few more words about the qualified units within the Boka Place project. So all in all, there will be around 144 qualified residents spread across 3 residential blocks. In addition to that, we will have 69 fully private residences. Unfortunately, these will not qualify for the passport program. However, we thought it might be of interest for you to see that Boka Place will not be just a community whereby you as an investor potentially purchase real estate for the passport program and don't really use it. We will have clients, buyers who will be living in the community all year round, and it's a very good investment in terms of demand on resale and in terms of the value, as well as the prime waterfront investments that we had so far. For some of our clients might have been a little bit pricey, and this is the new project that we'll launch whereby they can buy an affordable real estate with an opportunity of citizenship by investment element. Now, this is just a rendering showing how the Boka Place project will look when it's finished in 2023. So Zero is the name of the 5-star hotel brand that was designed specifically for Boka Place by the Kerzner Hotel Group, and it's a brand creation. We will touch base on the concept of Zero in a few minutes. So at this current moment of time, we have released for sale The residence called Mistral, so this is the residence that will feature 44 units and has the closest proximity to the waterfront, as well as the Tea residence just opposite Mistral, that features around 36 unique private residences. So the managed residences, 144 in total, will be potentially, so the 144 managed residences will have the opportunity to join the rental pool of this Sierra Hotel brand. This at the moment, this opportunity is optional, but for the investors who are looking to buy into real estate and have a 5-star hotel brand looking after their premises, renting it out while they're not using it, this could be an ideal opportunity. All the residences will have access to the unique Vitality Hub and a wellness center situated at the heart of the Sierra Hotel. And in terms of the price range, the studios that qualify for the citizenship by investment will range from 190,000 upwards up to potential larger investments in the penthouse units, which exceed 1 million in investment amount. Here's just a few words on the private residences. As I've mentioned before, these do not qualify for the citizenship by investment program. However, if any of you are interested in potentially maybe investing into managed residences and buying a residence for themselves, we can share this information with you shortly. Again, the product mix will have studios, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom units, and penthouses. Here are just a few more renderings showing the private residences and the swimming pool complex assigned next to them. So Sierra Hotel is a brand creation that will hopefully grow from Montenegro globally. And the whole concept of the hotel is linked to the wellness and well-being. It will have the materials that will be used for the construction of the complex are all natural and will support this new conscious well-being lifestyle concept that's actually very relevant, especially in the current moments of pandemic globally. We will send you more information on the hotel brand itself afterwards, once the presentation has been completed. So the hotel will have a very vast lobby, over 240 rooms, and a beautiful wellness center where the access will be granted to the hotel guests as well as the private residence owners. Here's just a few words on the residence mix. At this moment of time, we're just releasing the Block E that has 44 units. Quite a few of those units already have been sold and reserved. So by all means, once this presentation has been is finished, feel free to reach out to us. We can share with you the latest availability and floor plans for these units. So here I just want to show you a sample of how potentially a studio will look like. So majority of the apartments will have generous outdoor space assigned to them, whether it's a small courtyard or a terrace. All the residences are definitely en suite, and if you would be interested, you have the opportunity to purchase a 5-star hotel furniture and fit-out package that will include unique elements of furniture that actually can be used for indoor fitness. Again, this information we can share with you slightly later after the presentation. So the studio prices will range from 190 to 300 to 400,000. We also have unique 1-bedroom apartments. With the 1-bedroom apartments, the added benefit is that they potentially can accommodate 3 to 4 guests. So the living room in the living room, the sofas that will be provided can potentially be used as sofa beds to accommodate a guest, or if there's a smaller family with a child or 2 children, that could be a unique solution for them. As well as 2-bedroom residences that range anywhere from $500,000 up to $1 million. And of course the penthouses, on which we'll touch base with you slightly later. So in terms of the opportunities for the citizenship, the minimum threshold into investment is, as we mentioned, 450,000 For 450,000, you can either purchase, let's say, 2 studios to qualify for the investment, or you can purchase one-bedroom apartment together with a furniture package by a five-star Zero hotel and a garage space. Alternatively, we have had cases where we had larger families who are interested in purchasing one bigger unit for the minimum investment threshold of 900,000, whereby 2 applicants can apply for the passport under the 900,000 euro investment range. And then if the application has been successful, they can extend the passport to their first of kin, meaning their spouses, their children, etc. So by all means, I hope this information was useful for you. If any of you would be interested in receiving more detailed information on the floor plans, the images of the fit out of the apartments, the furniture package, and more renderings of the Boka Place, please feel free to reach out to us after this presentation. Sam, and if you don't have any questions more for me, then I'll just let you, I guess, take over with the Q&A.
Yeah, thank you very much, Katie. That was a phenomenal presentation. If I can kindly ask Brennon to unmute himself, so because we have a number of questions that's been fired during the live, feature that we have available now. I guess a lot of people are asking, how many times do you have to travel to Montenegro to qualify for this citizenship program? I don't know, Katie or Brennan, if you would like to answer that.
Sorry.
Okay, if I may say so, one of the advantages with the citizenship program of Montenegro over and above the, let's use Portuguese golden visa opportunity, is it goes directly to passport. It's not a visa issue. So there's no mandatory timeline required. You don't have to spend a day in Montenegro, a week, or per year, whatever the case may be. Once you've fulfilled your criteria, you get issued your passport. That's it. You've got your passport.
Excellent. And do they actually need to live in Montenegro?
No.
Okay, this is getting very attractive. Okay, we have a few questions which I'm saying now. What are the tax benefits in Montenegro? What's the current tax status in Montenegro currently?
Okay.
Yeah, well, in terms of the taxation, Montenegro enjoys really flexible flat taxation outside the EU. So the capital gains, corporate tax, income tax are capped at 9%. And Montenegro has currently signed the treaty for the avoidance of double taxation with over 44 countries in the world. So a lot of investors are especially interested in our tax system because it is quite convenient. There is zero inheritance tax if you are passing on any inheritance to your first of kin, meaning to your spouse or children. Other than that, it's 3%. So in general, it's quite a low tax bracket.
Okay, so I have a question here. If an Indian investors wish to go for the PR, what are tax implications? I guess you've answered that. Yes, I would like to surrender. What if an Indian investor would not want to surrender its existing passport? Can he or be partial residency? Do I need to reside there lifetime? We've answered that. Do they need to give up their passport citizenship?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, so, okay, great. Another question, yes, I can see that from Ashraf. What happens if the project gets delayed? What kind of security assurance and assurance does the investor have?
Well, to answer this question, first of all, it's important to know that Porto Montenegro as a project, is supported by probably the leading investment group in the world. So that's assurance number one. Number two is that year to date, we have concluded the construction for over 400 real estate units, and we've never seen a delay when it comes to a handover of the residence to its new owner. Equally, in the actual sales purchase agreement package that will be issued to the applicant as part of the application process, there are special measures set in place that will protect the buyer in case of a delay of a construction. So this is all speculated in the sales purchase agreement.
Okay. I guess, Kate and Brennan, you always advise that if someone is going to start the application, they source their own attorneys to make sure that they're protected, because of course you guys are, as the developers, they should choose the right attorney. And how do you help with them choosing the right attorney? And you know, do you get
Well, in terms of the attorneys, because the citizenship application process is actually going through a qualified agent. As I mentioned, there are 3 at the moment that were selected by the government. Handling partners are in Capital and Apex. Usually, as part of the application, they do provide assistance, legal assistance to the applicants. Having said that, if the applicant is interested in also sourcing up a local lawyer who wants, they want them to go through the sales purchase agreement, the documentation related to the real estate investment side, we'll be more than happy to share with them a list of English-speaking lawyers currently present and practicing here in Montenegro that can represent the buyer, which is absolutely a normal thing to do.
Okay. I noticed some of the top agents in India are actually logged in. They've asked a number of questions regarding the agreements that you have in place for agents overseas. I'm sure you get that frequently, and welcome to the wonderful world.
That's Brennan's expertise.
Brennan? Yeah.
I think the simple answer there is it's not really relevant to the forum. I would gladly have the conversation with any potential introducing agents. We work with a global network of introducing agents from the States to Canada to the Middle East to Turkey to the region, South Africa, GCC, etc. So it's not a case of we don't entertain it. I just don't think it's appropriate for the discussion right now.
Very diplomatic answer, Brennan. So I guess they get in touch with you directly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. Any restrictions with the program?
When you say restrictions related to?
I guess on the due diligence matter, we hear a lot about due diligence, people that are have any criminal convictions, etc. What are the criteria?
Well, as Katie mentioned earlier, anybody with a criminal record is going to have a serious problem with it. The Montenegrin government have been incredibly proactive with attracting foreign investment. The CBI program has been incredibly proactive on who they're attracting and how they attract. But by the same token, they're also pretty particular about who's coming in. So historically, there have been, just to give you an idea, we're getting and we're attracting applications globally right now. We've got applicants from Ghana, we've got applicants from India, we've got applicants from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, South Africa, numerous, the US, numerous. And what we're advising is we work very closely with the processing agents. And before you go into any major application and start parting with funds, we advise that you speak to the processing agents to run a first level of due diligence, and they will give you a risk assessment of your chances of being accepted or declined. And it's not just the main applicant that the due diligence applies to, it's the entire family that's involved. So the due diligence is thorough. There aren't restrictions per se. There's the only national restriction that we have currently is Iran. Other than that, it seems to be, and I believe North Korea. But that's neither here nor there. The main criteria is proof of funds, source of funds, and no criminal record.
Thank you, Brennan. I guess that's quite, that's quite an intense due diligence, because the government wants to make sure it keeps its integrity in regards to the CBI program.
Absolutely.
And we all have a part to play in regards to the applicants that come forth in this process. we do sometimes hear that certain people apply for other programs and they get denied. What will happen if they get denied in other CBI programs? Will they be accepted for the Montenegro's program? If they've been, do you have a sharing document centrally, or if they've been denied, what will happen?
I mean, there's no central sharing of information. There is, however, the companies like Apex and Henley, these are global institutions and they're involved in programs globally. It's not just that they're dealing in Montenegro or they're dealing in Malta or Cyprus or whatever the case may be. They look at it globally. So a client walks through the door and sits down with, let's use Henley as an example, and does an application. If they declined, generally they're going to be declined on the grounds of something pretty global. So it's not that, the Caribbean have rejected you, but let's go and try Montenegro, or let's try Cyprus, or let's try Malta. It's generally a global rejection.
Thank you. Another question is, what is the total cost with, I guess, processing fees, rendering fees, every legal fees, etc.? What is one expecting in total from a budget point of view?
Well, in terms of that, Sam, we kind of need to understand what is the household, the size of the household that's applying for passport, to how many family members would the applicant like to extend the passport to. Now, in the presentation, we've mentioned that there is a 15K applicant fee for the main applicant, 10K per each additional family member up to 5th family member. Then there is a due diligence fee, which is around 10,000. If the family is larger than 4 members, there's additional 1.5K per person that they add, plus the agent's fees, of course. So on the average, if we were to look at a family of 4 that apply for a passport, it would range between 90 to, let's say, 100K per family for the application fees, together with the due diligence, etc., etc.
Okay, we've got a question. Is how long do they have to hold on to the property in order to qualify? I think you've done that in your presentation.
Well, it's actually a very good question. It's quite a frequent question that we ask. I mean, obviously, as a developer, we're building a full year-round vibrant community here, and we would like for the buyers to stay with us as long as possible and benefit from the positive property value appreciation, which has been the case over the last 12 years in regards of any global crises, irrespective of any global crisis. But currently, as per legislation, the buyer can put their real estate on resale the moment they become the legal owner in the cadastre. Now, you do become a legal owner in the cadastre once you take physical, basically, ownership to the handover of the property, and that is expected in 2023. Now, we're aiming for a second quarter, but considering the global circumstances, there might be a small tweak there, but it's not a significant one.
Great. And we've seen some other programs after they've held on to their assets and they've successfully received their citizenship. If they sell their units to another third party, is that person eligible for the citizenship program?
Unfortunately not. There is 1 person per 1 residence. So when the other person purchases, the secondary buyer will purchase the real estate of the initial applicant, there will be no citizenship by investment element attached to it, but they will be getting high-end real estate in the luxury waterfront community. And in fact, what is something that's actually worth mentioning to the buyers is that we do have a very strong resale market here in the village. Now, everybody buying real estate at the coast of Montenegro is, the next biggest thing, since, south of France and Italy and Montenegro is really becoming the hub for ultra high net worth investors. So people really see this as a great opportunity to invest in this moment of time before Montenegro joins the EU, before the European banks start offering options of lending and mortgages for real estate purchase in the EU. So at the moment is the right time to invest, and Boka Place price per square meter does vary from our prime waterfront units, and it's more affordable real estate. Having said that, with highest quality, So the whole concept of Boka Place was not to just build a real estate project to give somebody a passport, but to build a high-end luxury real estate property with the added benefit of citizenship by investment. So if the buyer decides to keep it, we'll be more than happy to have them in our vibrant community. If they decide to sell it, I'm confident that it will have a good margin on the resale.
Thank you, Katie. Another questions we have is, how has COVID had an impact in regards to your buyers or interest? I know that recently during COVID, we've seen a huge increase of inquiries. How has it impacted your development, and what trends are you seeing from countries? I know Brennon touched briefly in regards to South Africa, Middle East, etc. Do you want to just elaborate on that, if you may?
Sure. The impact, I mean, the government of Montenegro were incredibly proactive in how they dealt with COVID and how they dealt with the initial, let's call it, first wave. So the country obviously went into lockdown. There were various conditions that were implemented, and there were various restrictions. As it's evolved through the country, and as we came out of it and were declared COVID-free a number of weeks now, months ago, things changed. Obviously, we're slightly experiencing a, let's call it a second wave. Regionally, there's been certain restrictions in travel, but from a marketing perspective and from a corporate visibility perspective, we were very sensitive to the global market, and we were very sensitive to our messages and messaging going out. We maintained a presence, and we still maintained lead generation. I mean, we were lucky enough and fortunate enough to pick up some very, very solid inquiries that we didn't have prior to COVID. We've had a number of sales through the period of restrictive movement and restrictions in movement, which we were very fortunate with. Boka Place has offered us an opportunity and a product that we could take out, which is very diverse, and it's a bit of a game changer within the region, because it's, as Katie's mentioned, within the luxury waterfront property that we have, it now offers a very different dimension to an investor, to somebody looking at a second home, third home, a passport. It's not, the concept was never around passports. So we've been fortunate enough to be able to offer it and attract a very diverse market. We've seen increase in inquiries and interest from the States, for obvious reasons. South Africa has been exceptionally proactive for us. I did a roadshow with Henley in South Africa in February and the beginning of March, and one or two other introducers and citizenship advisors. And that's had a knock-on effect. So we've got long-lasting inquiries coming from there, and it's growing. So, you know, the Indian market has been pretty interesting for us recently. Regionally, we're starting to pick up. There's no one particular market that I could pinpoint and say that's where it's coming from. It's actually now, I think, putting us into a position where we're becoming a little bit more global than we would have been 6-9 months ago.
Thank you, Brennan. Talking about a South African, I can see a South African ask a question who's based in Joburg. Done a number of roadshows. How many hospitals are there? Because I guess nowadays a lot of people with COVID are very cautious in regards to space. They're looking at more penthouses. Also want to make sure that you know, a lot of hospital facilities. What's the current situation, you know, in regards to your development with hospitals?
Well, if I just might mention that, reply to that one, we actually just put together an interesting piece of collateral, Sam, that's dedicated to the medical healthcare here in the Bay. I'm mentioning that because, you know, Montenegro is quite a small destination, so all the cities are quite connected, and commuting from one place to another takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes at most. So we have a number of medical facilities on site in the town of Tivat, where Porto Montenegro is situated. And equally, there are two larger hospitals within, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes drive, 20 minutes drive from Porto Montenegro project. We'll be happy to share the information on that. Of course, as per law, emergency medical services are rendered to offer to all visitors of Montenegro, regardless of their nationality. But we do recommend for the visitors to hold a valid health insurance. As I mentioned, we'll be happy to share this information afterwards with you. We have a nice piece of collateral that expands on this topic. Other than that, in the current situation, as Brennon mentioned, we were very sensitive in terms of preparing ourselves for the season, opening ourselves up to international travelers coming into Montenegro. For the longest time ever, we had closed borders because we wanted to make sure that the country is ready for the opening of international arrivals. And within the project itself, we are following probably one of the strictest policies and procedures in the whole of country in terms of distancing, wearing masks, disinfection, etc. And we have very good healthcare on standby as well as.
Thank you, Katie. We talked earlier in regards to obviously restrictions on flights. How are you getting investors and agents look at your projects? I guess a lot of people are using certain types of platforms. What are you doing to facilitate them if they can't actually physically come over to see your wonderful developments?
Well, I mean, as the rest of the world, we have gone digital. Okay, so the good thing about the passport program is that you actually should visit only once, and that's when you're supposed to do the biometrics and collect the passport. So majority of sales we have been doing virtually through Zoom phone calls together with agents, talking one-to-one to every interested applicant, answering to their questions, of course, putting their concerns to rest. We have a lot of video material, so not just the computer generated imagery, but of the village, etc., which we can share with the clients if there were questions regarding the quality of construction, etc. We could easily go into one of the ready-built units, film the views for clients, film the finishing, so they could be familiar with the quality that we offer. So all in all, I think the process has been successful, and irrespective of the fact that the clients could not really travel here just yet, they've got a really good overview of what to expect from us as a developer and from our investment group.
Okay. A lot of people want to feel culturally connected to a number of the investments that they make to live and work for citizenship. What kind of cultures and facilities do you have in the surrounding area in Porto Montenegro? I know there's a question here, but I just want to be a bit more diplomatic. What kind of churches, mosques, facilities, temples? What kind of facilities do you have for an international audience that are looking to become?
Well, the predominant, if this was a question related to the religious demographics, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, had to double check. So predominant religion in Montenegro is Christian Orthodox, supported by Catholic and also a Muslim population. So we do have various places of worship within a short driving range from the project. In fact, Montenegro is one of those rare countries whereby employees can choose the holidays according to their religious background. So there's 3 types of holidays they're all celebrating here.
Well said, Katie. Brennan, do you have any final remarks? I guess, I could carry on asking you these wonderful questions, but I guess we want to make sure our attendees are entertained, and then I'm sure a member of Porto Montenegro will be in touch with them. Do you have any final remarks?
If I may just say, the important factor to consider when you're looking at an investment, particularly related to a citizenship, is just making sure that you do your due diligence. You look at the companies that you associate yourself with, look at the companies that you associate your investment with. The cheapest may not be the best option in numerous occasions. What is important for us is we are backed by the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Dubai. We've got a lot of vision, we've got a lot of growth. We're looking at probably another, let's call it conservatively, between 500 million and 750 million US of investment and development to go forward. That gives you a lot of stability, it gives you a lot of safety on your investment, it gives you some basis that your capital appreciation and your long-term investment protection is there. It's not just a startup operation as with numerous of these facilities and programs globally. It's important, and I know it's not the right forum for it, but it's also important to understand that the project was not designed and conceptualized around passport programs. It was always going to be a new addition to the portfolio and offering of Porto Montenegro. From our point of view as a company, we look at it very carefully. So the product mix is not just static, it's not one-dimensional, it's very, very versatile, it's very fluid. You can look at it and you can adjust and adapt accordingly. And then from a personal level, for people's comfort, and it may not apply too much right now, but we're doing a lot of webinars to different demographics, different nationalities. I'm actually South African. I'm still on a South African passport, so I understand all the questions and I understand all the concerns, because I do struggle with movement. I struggle with work visas. I struggle with taxation in different countries, etc. I've lived in Europe for many, many years. I've been doing this for a very long time. So there's a lot of experience and a lot of personal experience that I can pass on to people when they're looking into, and to clients when they're looking into situations like this. I think there's a very, very strong opportunity from an investment point of view, and having the added value of the passport within the Boka Place project. It's not a case of buying a passport. We're selling real estate, and we're selling decent real estate, solid investment, and it's conceptualized and backed solidly. It's not just, oh, we're going to be here today and gone tomorrow.
Great. Katie, do you have any closing remarks?
Well, nothing really on my end. I hope that we've relayed as much information as as was useful to the listeners. By all means, feel free to reach out to Sam, Brennan, or myself. We can elaborate on our project in detail. If you have any specific questions that we didn't get a chance to answer to, we'll be happy to help. Again, just to stress, we're a very vibrant all year round community. Montenegro is a very, very small yet welcoming country. Just looking at our village alone, probably it's one of the most diverse places that both Brennan and I have ever worked and seen. It's a very internationally renowned cultural multipod. So we definitely will look forward to hearing from all of you and staying in touch, and potentially, congratulating you on your new citizenship.
Excellent. Just to wrap up, I guess we're going to be, and Porto Montenegro will send everyone an email in regards to the presentation if they want any clarity. From agents to direct clients, that also will be sharing some videos in regards to Porto Montenegro. I know a lot of people asked questions about the access with E2 visa. I don't know if you want to touch briefly on that, but we've taken precedent on the other cultural questions. Do you want to briefly touch on that to finally close off?
In regards to the E2 visa, if that's okay with you, Sam, we will definitely elaborate on that in our mailer that we're going to do as a follow-up after this this webinar. We are aware of the unique benefits that the Montenegrin Citizenship may offer to the nationalities that have to apply for E2 visa. So we'll just formulate it in the right way and put it down in the mailer. So if there will be any questions in this regards, then you can just basically touch base with us.
Okay, well, Brennan, Katie, thank you so much. Thank you, Porto Montenegro. You know, it's been wonderful from our organization point of view because, you know, there was a lot of discussions about Montenegro before the program was in process of being launched out to the investors. And, you know, and at BLS, we've always said that we really want to hear from people that are actually based out in Porto or Montenegro, and because they smell it, they feel it, they see it on a daily basis. You know, Brennan's relocated to Montenegro. That's a testament in itself because we see a lot of South Africans having a lot of interest. So you know, that makes a big difference. So you know, rather than hearing from agents, you know, you're hearing it from the direct source. That's what I want to hear. And of course, they're the best to actually advise you in day-to-day activities. So, you know, thank you so much, panelists. Thank you, Porto Montenegro, for educating our audience. And of course, we will have this available on demand. A mailer will go out. A member of Porto Montenegro team will be in touch. And look, you know, if further questions, ask as many questions to Brennan and Katie, because this is a life-changing decision, not just for you, but for also your family, to make sure it's the right one and you're completely happy with the process. And of course, you know, I guess we want to see, you know, more applications coming into the Montenegro citizenship program. And thank you for, you know, helping make this a smoother process for people to live their dream, I guess. Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you very much to everybody.
Everyone, and wishing you a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.